is that time of year again. And if you guys are like me, I always hope that my family reaches out to me and says, hey mom, what can we get you for Christmas this year? Because I do not want them spending money on something that I cannot use because I live in a tiny space. So things just don't work in a tiny space like they do in a big house. So if your kids or your family ask you each year what you want for Christmas, I'm going to give you some ideas of things that I use in my van that I love having in my van. Some of them I have upgraded, changed because they didn't work, and maybe I can help you guys make a fun, inexpensive Christmas list for your family. So let me show you what I got. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I am very, very passionate about my coffee, and I'm pretty passionate about electricity. And in living in a tiny home, you have to be cautious about your power. So I have come up with two, an AC current and a DC current, ways to boil water for my coffee. And the first one was actually in a giveaway box at my meetup. This is a collapsible kettle, and it is like silicone. It collapses, so a space saver for sure. Just a little on-off switch. It is AC current, okay? But it only takes 4 minutes to boil water. So that uses very, very little power, and you have coffee in 4 minutes. But if you do not have a efficient AC current battery setup, you can get a DC current water heater. Water boiler. This is a DC mug. It's got a screw on top, and it's got a cigarette lighter plug, and this can boil water in 30 minutes. This is 120 watts an hour. That is 700 watts an hour. But I like this one because I can use it while I'm driving and keep my coffee warm when I'm on a long day of driving. And I can plug that into my van outlet. Now, if I'm not in a hurry for coffee in my morning, which doesn't happen, this can be used. This stays warm longer. So DC current, they use ultimately the same amount of power. This takes longer than that, but I can use this when I drive. I cannot use that when I drive. So I like having this next to me. I like having that for when I need my coffee first thing in the morning. And both of these are inexpensive and wonderful gifts. Second item on my list is a vacuum cleaner. And the reason why I wanted a vacuum cleaner in my bag is because I go to Quartzsite every year in the desert, and I feel like everything gets dusty. And I wanted to be able to just quickly vacuum up as much as the dust as I can. You can use a broom and a dustpan, but I love having a vacuum because then I feel like I can get the dust from the desert better. And this is one of the items that it actually took me 3 tries to get it right. And the first time I bought a Shark vacuum cleaner, and this thing is powerful and good. It's got a little hook on it so I could kind of hang it. Well, then it's just too big. It's a good vacuum cleaner. It's AC current, which I did not want, and actually lost the charging plug for it somewhere in the desert in Arizona doing a job. So if you're out there and I've done work for you in Arizona and you have my Shark plug, I'll take it back this year. But so then I got a Black & Decker one or something from Walmart. But ultimately I ended up with this small vacuum cleaner. It is from Amazon. It is an AHNR, and I love it because it works as a vacuum and a blower. So sometimes you need to blow that dust out of like the windowsills and the little crevices, and this is going to do that. I've got shiplap in my van, and this is really, really handy for making sure that all your little creases and nooks and crannies are vacuumed or blown out. And it comes with a lot of different attachments, and I just put them in a little baggie that I've got. It comes with an extra filter. If I want to vacuum the floor, it's got that adapter. It is USB chargeable. That was the game changer for me, because I don't care if I lose this 100 times. I probably have 100 of these stinking cords somewhere. And the little blower hose, perfect. And a brush if I need it. And a small brush if I need it. So tons of adapters. And this one, I don't want to get dust everywhere, but you press a button, it opens up, bang the dust out of it, and go again. It's got multiple levels: low, high, low. So 2 separate levels, and I love it. And it's super, super easy. I've got a perfect storage spot for it, and it's easy accessible, and I don't have to work to get to it. And if it's easy to get to, you're going to use it more often. So that is my second item, and I love this. All right, guys, my next item for you is my mirror. I actually probably spent a year trying to decide which mirror I wanted, which seems extreme. But here's the catch. In van life or in a tiny home, a tiny space, you don't have consistent lighting. The lighting is always different depending on where you're parked, the windows that you have open. Sometimes it's too bright in here if you've got the lights on. So I was looking for the perfect mirror that would work in all kinds of different lighting. And this is what I found. And it is lightweight, it is inexpensive, and it has its own light, which is very bright, but it's also dimmable. And it has a cool light, or you can turn it off completely. Come on now, use your air. But it's USB rechargeable, and it uses the same cord as my vacuum cleaner, so that's a bonus. But the reason why I landed on this is because of this. This slides underneath my microwave, and then I can adjust this, whether I'm getting desert dust out of my eye or blow drying my hair. I can adjust this how I want it, and I can close it up. It fits perfectly in my dresser. 5x7-ish, USB chargeable. And here's my old one that I want to show you, because this is probably 20 years old, and it was like I never could get the right angle, and I had a carabiner on here, and I was trying to hook it where I thought I would want it. It's clanky, so I am super excited about my inexpensive, easy to store, bright light, portable mirror, and a wonderful stocking stuffer Christmas gift. The next item on the list is a good temperature sensor. Now, this is not just a sensor. It has a clock, the date, which in van life or when you're retired, it is hard to remember what day it is. It has got the indoor temperature, and there's a sensor for outside, and you can get them that have multiple sensors, and that's why I like it, because I like to keep one of these sensors in my refrigerator. I want to know the temperature of my refrigerator, because sometimes in van life you run low on power, sometimes in van life you run out of power, and this kept in the refrigerator is going to help you keep a close eye on the temperature, because my marine refrigerator does not give you a temperature readout. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 setting on the inside, and that's all I know. And sometimes these chest refrigerators that we're using in van builds, it says that it's set on 39, but the stuff at the bottom is frozen, the stuff on top is not frozen, and you really need to keep an eye on the temperature so that you're not having huge fluctuations and having food go bad. So I like the thermometers with extra sensors. This one actually has the humidity level, which I love. I want to know, do I need to run my dehumidifier for a while? And so humidity, temperature, and fun fact, mine also has the low temperature of the day and the high temperature of the day. So if I've been busy all day and I want to know how hot did it really get today, all I got to do is press my mode button. It'll go through the sensors and tell me the temperature, the high temperature of the day and the low temperature of the day. So if you're kind of nerdy like that, like I am, inexpensive and great stocking stuffer, great small item gift. And tell your family that you want one with multiple sensors, so that you can use one outside in your refrigerator. In my old build, I had one in the back and in the front of my van, because when you're 21 feet long and the dogs are riding in the back and you're riding up front, you might be cold up front. It might say that it's 68 degrees, but your dogs may be in the back and it's 80 degrees. So I keep a sensor up front, a sensor in back, a sensor outside. This is its own sensor. So that one's in back, sensor up front, and a sensor outside, a sensor in my refrigerator. So the 3 sensor one is super cool, and it's a perfect Christmas item gift. You guys are going to think this next one's pretty cool, but it's retractable lights. And when I was in Ironwood this last winter, one of the ladies, Georgia, had one of these, and she had it strung out around her awning. And I thought, how cool was that? Really never thought about it again. It pulls out, and it's like, I can't even tell you how much is in there. I've got them strung around here. They change colors, the buttons on the back. And so yellow, cool, flashing, fading, and then back, light, brighter, and off. So let's get it back to where we had it. And then when you're done using them, you pop that open and you can retract them again. And no tangles. No tangles if you do it right. And USB rechargeable. And how stinking cool is that? This was a gift. Thank you, Terry. She just gave this to me, and I can't imagine what she probably thought when she got it out. She goes, "Oh, have you ever seen one of them?" And I'm like, I have seen one of those. I saw one of those in Ironwood, and it's super cool. And I'm already watching Christmas movies, and so we had to do what we had to do. But these are super cool. So, and that would be a pretty cool gift. And when I put my moonshade out, I will put these all the way around it. And at night in the desert, when it's pitch black out there, I know where exactly how to find my van. So super cool, and thank you, Terry. But that would be a cool stocking stuffer Christmas idea. This one may be the most practical of all the things that I have on my list, and that is a snap safe. This is a metal box. It's big enough to hold all kinds of passport, credit card, a fireproof envelope that your passport is in, and it opens up and it is padded on the top, padded on the bottom, and it comes with a long cable. And this cable is designed to wrap around something steel in your vehicle or camper or whatever, and you're not going to pull this off. 1,500 pounds of pressure, they are not going to get this loose. This end locks into the safe. Lock it into the safe, close it up, lock it, and then they are not going to get your personal items. So whether or not you've got medications or a spare credit card, some cash, put them in a nice, safe area, lock it up. When you need to get into it, release the cable, take this back to the couch area and organize your stuff, find your stuff. And that pill organizers, it's big enough for that. So keep your stuff secure and safe. It is not fireproof, but it is big enough for a fireproof envelope to go inside. So this is practical, under $30, and honestly, everybody should have something like this in their van. The next practical gift that you should have on your list is a battery starter. It is one of the jump starters that attaches when you cannot get your van started. You pull this out. It is super compact. You turn this on, plug this in, turn it on, hook your battery up, and start your van. I am telling you that I don't know how many times I've used this, not on my van, but on other vans as well, and never have had this not work. Some people say, oh, you should just carry jumper cables with you, but then you have to have a second person. You have to have another vehicle, and these are super handy, and they are not very expensive. They are under $100, I'm sure, depending on what kind you get. And this is an off-brand, and I am telling you, again, have never had it not start the vehicle that I needed started. Everyone should have a battery starter. It doesn't matter what brand. It doesn't matter if it's an off-brand or a name brand. I'm telling you, I've never had one not work. If you got a bad battery, I mean, take it up to AutoZone and they say, oh, your battery's bad. It has still started my van and got it up to where I was going to get that battery changed out. These do come sometimes with tire pressure gauges where you can air up your tire. Make sure that if you get one of those that has a tire compressor on it, that it is big enough, strong enough to air up your van tire. Check that PSI out and make sure it's big enough to air up your tire. So these are valuable to have. Every single traveler out there should have one of these jumpers. You guys are going to pick on me on my last one, but I absolutely love having a fireplace in my van. And this one is just a computer monitor because I'm on shore power. I have my Wi-Fi here, and that is just a YouTube video. And if you can hear it, there's like crackling in the background, and I love how realistic, ish that is. But I feel like it is very comforting. It's like a mental health thing. It is, I just love a fireplace. And in a space like this, in the cold weather, it's getting dark early, I feel like it's healthy to have something that brings you comfort and makes you smile. And I had a friend who has one of these and bought this for me. And I had it on my dresser and kind of slides around, and there's really not a way to adhere it to there. And the on-off button and the battery switch is on the bottom. So I started looking to see how I could get one of these and it be more permanent. Now, this is I think they call it a lantern fireplace. And it's battery operated, on-off switch, but it's super cute. And I just love it. So when I knew I'm going to be on the road for 2 months and that's going to be sliding around, and I do not like to have to take everything off of the counters and that just to get in drive mode, because at night if I'm somewhere and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to be able to jump in the seat and go. So that one's going to go in my office, and I found this one, and this one is a touch button. There is nothing on the bottom but a smooth surface, so I can take alien tape and just put it on here and stick it to whatever surface I want. If I want to hang this on the wall, it actually has a couple of hooks that I can just put a couple of screws in the wall and hang this on there. And I know it's not as realistic as that, but I just think, A, it's mood lighting, and whether or not you're the type that meditate in your van or, you know, want to sit around at night and, you know, do your prayer list or read, or I just feel like the lighting, and I just feel like it's good for your mental health, especially if it's your thing. I love fireplaces. I love wood burning stoves, love building fires, and I love the relaxing atmosphere it creates. So call me weird. It is $21. So it's like, how cool is that? $21. So battery operated, but this one is USB as well. So a barrel plug on the side. And if I want to run this all day, I'm in my van all day and I want to run this all day, I can. It's literally no wattage. Some wattage, but plug it in USB and battery backup. Love it, love it, love it. So it's good for my mental health. All right, guys, so I know I'm jumping the gun on the holiday season, but I've been watching Christmas movies, and it's contagious. So I hope that as you guys prepare for the holiday season, that maybe this will give you guys some ideas on some things that might be pretty cool to have in your van or pretty practical to have in your van. But I love these items, and I wanted to share them with you guys. They are tested and tried, and they work. And guys, take care out there. Be safe. Happy holidays. We'll see you on the next video.